Hi there. Welcome back to another shining episode of OGP's Dollar Tree Physical Media Pickup Movie Reviews. Yes, that is a mouthful, but that's what your mom said. And it's the truth. That's what we're doing. We're reviewing another Dollar Tree movie that I picked up. This one was on my last trip to Dollar Tree. I picked up this film here called Camp Cold Brook, starring Danielle Harris and Courtney Gaines. And we all know Danielle Harris from Halloween, Little Kid Halloween, Rob Zombie, Big Kid Halloween. Courtney Gaines was in Children of the Corn, and Children of the Corn was great in the 80s, but it just didn't age well. There it is, out of the slipcover. Go ahead and set the slip aside and get the plastic off of this DVD right here. Have you guys heard of Camp Cold Brook? Have you picked it up at Dollar Tree? While I'm getting this out of the plastic, I'll ask you, if you haven't already, to give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Make sure you're subscribed somewhere down there. Hit that bell so you get all the notifications. So we're out of the plastic now. And no surprise, as most Dollar Tree movies do not have any type of inserts. Let's take a look at the back of the disc. Looks good. It's a nice looking artwork there on the DVD. And looking at it, the back. So first, Chad Michael Murray, Danielle Harris, Michael Eric Reed, Courtney Gaines, Candace DeVisser. Joe Dante presents Camp Cold Brook. Some ghost stories turn out to be true. On the back, winner Best Feature, Horror Hound Film Festival and Shriek Fest. Reality TV show Jack Wilson, played by Chad Michael Murray of Riverdale, finds himself in a tough spot when his show Haunt Squad is about to be canceled. In a last-ditch effort to spark ratings, he and his producer Angela, played by Danielle Harris, chose to film their next episode at the infamous Camp Cold Brook, which was host to a horrific incident when the young campers were drowned in a nearby creek 20 years earlier. Their arrival begins like any other episode, but when this remote backwoods camp begins to reveal its secrets, the TV crew find that they've gotten more than they bargained for. Whoa, 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 whoa. Campy. People died there before. Now there's ghosts. Okay. I mean, we've heard that before, but it could still be a fun story. We'll see. Digging the artwork, the images that they've chosen for the back. Shout Studios and presents blah, 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 blah. We already talked about the actors. Executive producer, Joe Dante, Ben McConnelly, and a lot of executive producers. Looks like a lot of people contributed to this. Produced by Warner Davis, Mark Allen. Screenplay, Alex Carl. Directed by Andy Palmer. So Joe Dante presents. Joe Dante didn't direct. So there we are. There we have it. Doing some research on IMDb, I could not find anything in the way of budget for this, but looks like it was filmed completely in Oklahoma. So looks like we're in for that type of scenery. I'm seeing a lot of tall pine trees here. Not very Oklahoma-y, so I don't know that that's going to be the real terrain in the background. We'll see. Rotten Tomatoes has given this a 57. That's the tomato meter. The experts. Fans have given us like a 35 on Rotten Tomatoes. On a 1 to 10, that would be, like a 3.5. And from the experts, that'd be like a little less than a 6. So I'm hoping that I am surprised, but my guess is this is not going to be great. But based on Courtney Gaines, Danielle Harris, and Joe Dante being involved, I thought, you know what? Let's give it a shot. And it's a campy movie. Supposedly it's going to be ghosts, maybe, not as opposed to like being a slasher or something. But campy movies can be fun. With that being said, I got a movie to watch. Well, that is interesting. Play, extras, scenes, audio, subtitles, but we don't get a title credit on the menu. Huh. Interesting. Joe Dante presents Camp Cold Brook. There it is. Oh, yeah.
Between the journey of the living and the realm of the dead.
Movie time. Pow. See you in a couple hours. Outlander. Not you. Outlanders. This is very interesting. I had to pause the movie for a second. We're still at the beginning of the movie, and they're looking for ideas where to film. They need a real big episode. One of them mentions, let's film it at the Winchester house. And in fact, that was Danielle Harris that mentioned that. And the other guy goes, no, they're filming some shit movie at the Winchester house. And it's like starring Helen Mirren. The movie Winchester, I don't know if it was really filmed at the Winchester house or not, but parts of it, that was a real movie. This movie here just, like, talked shit about the movie Winchester starring Helen Mirren. Like they literally talk shit. So I'm trying to figure out if one of the producers of this or director or somebody was involved with that movie. I'm not seeing it yet, but maybe. But that is very interesting to call out another movie like that in a movie. But I'll tell you something. The movie Winchester with Helen Mirren was a pretty good movie. I liked that movie. So this is very interesting. But so far, we're off to a pretty good start. There's some like focus issues with the camera, very opening scene, some audio issues, but storyline within the first few minutes, I'm kind of digging it so far. So let's hit play, get back into it, see how it goes. All right. So, I am, let's see. Now 40 minutes into it, so getting close to the halfway mark. And there's two major flaws so far. One, they got out to this camp and they just fire up the generator right away. If you have ever tried to start a motorcycle or a lawnmower that hasn't been started in even 6 months, good luck. So I'm not buying that the generator just fired right up. And I was wondering how they were going to go about powering their stuff up. They could have done something else with that. Played that the sheriff turned the power on or something like that. That there was a breaker or something. But no, it's like this dude just fired up the generator. So didn't really care for that. Then also, when the sheriff left, he's like, there's no cell phone reception. The phones here aren't working. Once we leave, you're on your own. And then Danielle Harris is on a laptop talking about how she was going to do some research. So, no cell phone service. No phones. But you got internet to do research? Okay, couple little flaws. Nothing major. I did see on IMDb, they mentioned he received a letter to his house earlier in the film, which was obviously filmed probably in California. It looked like California-style houses, so it wasn't completely filmed in Oklahoma, but the camp is in Oklahoma. But at his house, the address on the letter is different than the address on the house itself, which they do like a close-up of it, the address on the house outside. So it's kind of obvious that you notice that. But overall, the story, I'm still digging it. I'm liking it. It definitely has a creepy vibe to it. I wish they would have had more than just the 4 people. There's 4 of them that are investigating this camp right now from this ghost, hunter show, whatever it is. I just feel like there'd be a little bit bigger crew there. Maybe that's, all that was in the budget for the film here. Who knows? 40 minutes in and I'm not mad yet. Not mad enough to break out pen and pad and take notes. Just a couple little things so far. So I thought I would mention that before I forgot. But now, back to the show. Well, that is over, and I'm not mad at it. I'll go ahead and turn the volume down so I don't get copyright flags. But Camp Cold Brook, with Courtney Gaines as a producer of the television show that these people are working on, Danielle Harris, Chad Michael Murray, Michael Eric Reed, and Candace DeVisser were the four folks that were in the that make this TV show called the Haunt Squad. And the Haunt Squad show was on the verge of being canceled, and so they needed like a real big episode to save their show. So they were kind of brainstorming, where do we go, where do we go? Emma, who is played by Candace DeVisser, comes up with the idea that they go to this place called Camp Cold Brook out in Oklahoma. As we kind of read before, it's this camp where 28 kids were killed back in 1990, and the camp was abandoned. It was like a church camp, and it had been abandoned ever since. They went out there to do the research, and all kinds of crazy stuff started happening. And I'm not going to go into every single detail because this is worth a watch. This is like for $1.25. Not mad at all. I'm glad I got this in the collection. All this crazy stuff's happening because this witch has cast a spell on this camp, and then they realize they can't leave the camp. They're kind of stuck in there, and the witch needs 2 more victims. She killed 28 kids. She needed 30, and I guess the story was if she killed 30 kids, she could get her daughter back. Eventually, word goes out to Ghost Hunter Dude's mom that he's there at the camp, and her and the sheriff and everybody like start freaking out, and they're coming to the camp to try and rescue him. So we have our 4 people from the cast, and then more people come and help. And I'll just tell you that there are at least 2 more people that die on site there, which would give you the 30 people that needed to die, unless they all had to be kids, or unless they had to be connected to the camp or something. But we don't... trying not to do spoilers here. It doesn't solve the problem. The people that did die there did not solve the problem. So there's a good twist close to the end, and I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. I like what they did there. But then at the very, very end, they try another twist, and the last twist does not make sense. It doesn't make sense, and I don't want to get into spoilers, so I'm going to try and tippy-toe around this. The very end of the film, there is a way that some people are going to be the last 2 victims that this witch needs to get her daughter back. There's no rhyme or reason how the witch would be there, because everything we've known up until this point had to happen in the camp. The people that the witch was going to get to end this were outside of the camp, or outside of her. He refers to it as a ring of fire. They were outside of that, so I don't see how that's plausible. So the first twist at the end, good. The second twist didn't make sense, so I was a little disappointed with that. And then they left this definitely open so that they could make a sequel. It was just too open. It was too open. I just didn't care for that ending. My guess would be the reason this got 35 or thereabouts Rotten Tomatoes score from fans is probably the ending. Up to the ending was very good. Now, you could say, oh, this is one of those movies that's supposed to leave you guessing. Sometimes that's good and sometimes it's not. In this case, they didn't give you enough. Usually if you're guessing, it's, one of 2 scenarios, or, something that you can really kind of understand what happened. And this one, you can guess what might happen, But when you realize and you think about the plausibility of that, or the fact that we have a storyline. The storyline tells us that this witch is in this camp, stuck in this camp. Maybe not stuck in this camp, but this is her kill zone. What they leave you guessing with afterwards takes place out of the kill zone, so it doesn't fall in line with the rules of this story. You know, you create a story, you can say, hey, in my story, people fly. And if that's what you want in your story, then great, that rule applies. In this story here, they did not give us any other reason throughout the entire film that this could have taken place outside of the camp, where when the story ended, when we cut to black and credits rolled, this didn't give me reason why that, what you're supposed to assume, why that would work. So I just didn't care for that. And again, there is another twist that I really can't get into because it would just ultimately spoil everything. Maybe someday on a live stream or something, we'll talk about this, or down the road, we'll kind of talk about it and do a spoiler review. Because it is just a little frustrating. The story was great, and we wrapped it up in a bad way. It just didn't make sense. So that was a little disappointing. But all in all, throughout the film, I was very entertained. I thought Danielle Harris did a great job as always. The other actors were also very good. The Candace DeVisser, she was great. Courtney Gaines was good. I don't have a problem with Courtney Gaines acting at all. I just don't feel like Children of the Corn holds up. It's just, it drags now. It's one of those movies that just might have been, ooh, it's creepy back in the 80s, but now it's like, ooh, it's slow and boring. So, anyways, this was not bad. If you can find it at your Dollar Tree for $1.25, I would recommend it. I would pick this up. On a scale of 1 to 10, I think I was totally like going, man, am I going to give this a 7? Am I going to give this a 7? And then I was going, probably more 6.5. And then the ending, when they did what they did, I'm down at a 6. I'm down at a 6 out of 10. So, but that's still better than average, compared to what you could end up buying at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. So this is good. I recommend it. Definitely. Oh wait, I didn't do my thumbnail yet. Where should I go? Sexy pose? Is that sexy? Bieber eyes? Or should I do granny goggles? I don't know. Let's see here. Let's just go like this. Go mean face. Semi-mean face. All right, there it is. There it is. There's the thumbnail right there. Get it a little up so I got room for text up above and below. All right, perfect. Well, that's going to do it. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up button, man. This was a great video, and you know you liked it. You did. Be sure you're subscribed and the bell has been rung so that you get the notifications. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next, well, I'll see you before then, but the next episode of OGP's Dollar Tree Physical Media Pickups Movie Reviews.